Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. This is the Business Spotlight, Santa Cruz Valley Business Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight, and your host, Fred Arnold. I'm here with Jill Rand. Jill Rand opened up her own firm. Congratulations, a real estate firm called JLM Properties. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fred.
Tell us about the inspiration behind opening up your own organization, your own company as a real estate professional.
Well, I've been in the business for over 10 years, and I work for one of the big companies out here, which I do love them. They're great. But I really wanted to have a little bit more personal hands-on and a handful of agents that I handpicked, and I just feel really lucky to be working in a small office that really cares.
And you know what's interesting about that is you're an entrepreneur, and that's what I think what's so important in real estate is you need to be an entrepreneur because every listing you take, every buyer you take out, they're like they're your client, and it takes leadership to get someone into a house right now.
Oh, it does. It takes very good negotiation skills, and you need to know where to look for the secret listings. But it's a phenomenal feeling to hand somebody the keys.
So let's talk about that. I think it's important that you have an experienced real estate agent working for you. And you said find the right listings, find those listings, because a lot of times listings come and go quick because we're in a fast-paced market.
We are. Inventory is very low right now, so we're seeing multiple offers, especially at the price point for first-time home buyers. So it's very important to see them coming and to also know exactly what your client is looking for and not spend a lot of time chasing something that's not realistic for them.
Now, you do quite a few short pays and short sales, and those are, I think short pays are going to be the thing of 2012 and 13, and I think it's going to help propel our economy forward. With that said, sometimes it's difficult dealing with somebody losing their home, but it is a new beginning for them if you can give them that relief, isn't it?
It is. I have to say that it can be difficult to talk to somebody. They're emotionally attached to their home, but a lot of times these people are in a home that they owe so much more than it's worth currently, and they're buried in bills and they're house poor that I can tell you every single time we've had a short sale transaction go through, the seller is relieved. They feel like a huge weight is off their shoulders, and they can start moving forward. And the way things are now, within 2 years, they can buy again.
Yes, and the biggest thing about that that we have to talk about, Jill, is the fact it's the relief off their shoulders. I think it's going to be the new norm for at least the next year and a half. Whether it's right or wrong, whether you believe in people allowing to be able to do short pays or not, the bottom line is it creates certainty in their future, and which means they maybe go purchase or finally go replace that used car that they've had for a long time. They finally go out and maybe go buy something, and I'm not saying buy at a necessity. It releases and creates certainty in their future, and they don't have that noose around their neck.
That's it. It's just such a relief that maybe their kids can start taking dance lessons. Maybe they've been putting off a family vacation, and you know what? When you're later in life, and I'm getting pretty close there, when you get later in life, you're going to think back to the memories of your family vacations, of going to see a concert with your kids. And if you don't have that extra money to do that, if you're sinking every cent you have into your home, your hands are tied.
Yeah, and I don't think Jill and I are talking about going to Europe. I'm talking about being able to get the gasoline in the car and driving somewhere and spending time together. I mean, I'm talking about some of these people, when they finally have certainty in their future, they could do simple things in life to create a better tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Tell us about just a quick tip or two for a buyer. Buyers going out there, they need to get into a house. If they're competing on a short pay or on a foreclosure, 1 or 2 tips you can give us.
The first thing you want to do is be pre-qualified. Find a very good lender that understands your needs. There are the big banks, it's usually important to have a pre-qualification from a direct lender, but often mortgage brokers, can shop around a little bit more and give you more options. So it's really important to shop around for your loan, get yourself pre-qualified, so when you do find the house you want, you're in a position to negotiate.
Yeah, and make sure you know what price you want to pay for a house.
Exactly. And rely on your real estate agent, your realtor, for that. It's very important that they know what the market is doing, where we are. We are not in a rapidly declining market anymore. The values have stabilized as of recently because of the low inventory. But you also don't want to overpay because you're in a bidding war. So you need to have somebody who understands exactly where you should be price-wise.
And the other thing I believe is your real estate agent should be able to educate you enough to where you feel comfortable yourself making that offer. You know what comp sold because the real estate agent has done their homework. I think that's absolutely critical.
Absolutely. One of the main jobs of a good real estate agent is to educate the buyer and the seller. All your clients need to know.
One last tip before we finish with the business spotlight, is a tip or two for the seller. Someone preparing their house for sale, someone's getting ready to go. What are one or two tips you can give just initially off the top of your head? I know clean up, spruce it up a little bit, huh?
Well, I would always tell people when we're selling, put away the tchotchkes. You want to put away all the clutter, depersonalize it, because you want potential buyers, to picture themselves living there. And if there's a lot of personal photographs around and very personal tastes around, they may have a difficulty picturing themselves in the property.
And that's one of the toughest things to do because we love everything about our home, so we have all of our stuff in it. So great point, Jill Rand. Jill Rand is a broker owner with JLB Properties. How do we get a hold of you?
Well, you can find me on the internet at www.jlmpropertiesinc.com. You can also call me anytime, 888-345-4JLM. That's 888-345-4556.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, Jill Rand from JLM Properties Incorporated, Real Estate Professionals Company. You've been listening to this Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.